Yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to another video where today we will be looking at the Game Week 12 Premier League predictions. Those games are coming up this week, so we will predict the scores once I'm finished talking about that match and the teams. So without further ado, let's get into Wolves versus Tottenham. This should be a good game, so let's start with Wolves. They slowly picked up some form. Neto is out for a few months though, which is a big blow, and the team is playing not bad, to be fair. On to Tottenham, they have been outstanding this season. They actually lost 4-1 to Chelsea. They had 9 men, and Van de Ven and Madison could possibly miss the next game. And my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Tottenham. We have Manchester United versus Luton Town. This game could be a pretty tight one. So let's start with Manchester United. They are an okay team, I guess. At the moment, they are having a rough time. There is a possibility of Ten Hag being sacked, especially after today's match against Copenhagen. They lost onto Luton Town. They are slowly growing into the Premier League, playing pretty well against Liverpool. They managed to secure a draw. My prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw between the two. Now we have Arsenal versus Burnley. This should be a easy one for Arsenal. So let's start with Arsenal. They got their first defeat this season versus Newcastle. No longer unbeaten. Jesus and Nketiah injured apparently as well. And on to Burnley, they have not done well so far this campaign. Been struggling quite a bit, and they have only won 1 game this season in the Premier League. And my prediction is going to be a 4-0 win for Arsenal. Now we move on to Crystal Palace versus Everton. This is going to be a tight game. I could see it being a tight game. So let's start with Crystal Palace. They have been doing not too bad. They beat Burnley in their last game, and I would say a underrated team. On to Everton. They have surprised me. They've picked up some form for sure. And they drew against Brighton and they won versus West Ham. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Everton. Now we move on to Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Now, in my opinion, Newcastle could win this game. So let's start with Bournemouth. They are still struggling. Manager, the new one, isn't doing the best job. They are in the relegation zone at the moment, which is onto Newcastle. They're slowly picking up their form, starting to play better again. And they're missing Botman and Byrne, which are parts of the team, and they're struggling in the Champions League as well. And my prediction is going to be a 3-0 win for Newcastle. Now we have Aston Villa versus Fulham. It's going to be a interesting one. So let's start with Villa. They have been very good this season. They lost 2-0 to Forest, and Watkins been balling this season. Even last season, towards the end, he was doing well. And on to Fulham. Fulham have been in a struggle. They lost to Man United 1-0, and they are close to the bottom of the table. My prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Villa. And we move on to Brighton versus Sheffield. It should be a breeze for Brighton. So let's start with them. The football they play is great. I've been having some struggles recently though, but I do rate this team a lot. Onto Sheffield United. This team is struggling quite a bit. They did win 2-1 versus Wolves though, which is, I would say, a big win for them. First win season, and I see this game going Brighton's way, and they will win 4-0 in my opinion. Now we move on to West Ham versus Nottingham Forest. This will be a very tight game. So let's start with West Ham. They have been doing not too bad. They did lose to Brentford, and they did defeat Arsenal in the EFL Cup. They thrashed us 3-0. Onto Forest. Been doing better recently and performances are getting better, and they beat Villa 2-0, as I mentioned before, which is a huge win for them. But I see Forest winning this game actually, 2-1. And we move on to Liverpool versus Brentford. This matchup is always a interesting one, I think. So let's start with Liverpool. They've been doing pretty well this season, sit in the top 4 at the moment, and Sabolasai is so good. Like, he does everything. He could tackle, pass, shoot. His free kicks are incredible. Fantastic signing. Now on to Brentford, a underrated team. They do play some good football at times, and Frank, the manager, always has something up his sleeve, and my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Liverpool. Now we move on to the last and biggest game this weekend, and that is Chelsea versus Manchester United, the biggest game of the week. So let's start with Chelsea. They surprised me in the last game, played well, and they beat Spurs 4-1. Although Spurs did have 9 men on the pitch, they're getting 2 men sent off, and Jackson actually got a hat trick, which is crazy. On to Manchester City. In my opinion, still the best team in the world. They sit at the top as Spurs lost their game, and Haaland is not only scoring tap-ins, he's also scoring bangers now from outside the box. Now my prediction is going to be a 3-2 win for Manchester City. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below your predictions as well, and don't forget to subscribe as well, because it does help me out as well, push the channel out. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.